I am Wanderer001 and this is a quick requested video of how to hook up an external microphone or wireless mic using the Canon Vixia HF R400. Like I said, this is going to be a quick video, so minimal edits, so please excuse the long pauses or me saying quite a lot. To use a wireless mic with the Vixia HF R400, it's actually fairly simple. All you need is a 3.5mm jack that plugs into the mic output on the camcorder, and then you have to plug in the 3.5mm jack into either, in this case, this is a Audio-Technica wireless mic set. Haven't fully finished testing it out, so there isn't a review out about this one yet, but there will be soon. What you do is you plug in the other end of the 3.5mm jack into your receiver, and then have on your talent or person talking the transmitter, which in this case is a lapel mic. Once you plug in the receiver to the camcorder, the internal mic automatically turns off on the Vixia HF R400. I'll show you that in a second so you can see on screen. I'd have the mic indicator on so you could see when it turns off. So you really don't need to do anything more than just plug in a microphone, or in this case a receiver that's getting a wireless signal from a transmitter, into the camcorder. You can also, if we unplug the wireless setup, this particular Audio-Technica package came with a non-wireless microphone, which has its own 3.5mm jack that plugs right into the camcorder. You can also, in this case, plug in the microphone into the wireless transmitter and use the microphone quote-unquote wirelessly that way. There will still be a wire from the microphone to the transmitter. However, the particular question that I was asked was in reference to a Yeti, and that's not coming into focus. I'm familiar with the Yeti. I'm not familiar with the wireless setup for the Yeti. However, with that particular microphone, because it uses XLR cables as an output, you will need to purchase an XLR to 3.5mm wire so that you can have it going from the Yeti to the Canon Vixia here. Quick search, it was like $7 on Amazon. I'm sure you can find something cheaper. So what I'll do now is I will show you on the camcorder here what happens when I plug in the receiver into the camcorder and start using the wireless mic. Alright, so this is a little tricky to keep in frame at the moment, but it's sitting on my table. You can kind of see it is around the holiday time, and hence I have holiday stuff up and around. But you can see I have the mic level indicator turned on the camcorder so that you can see it's actually picking up my voice as I'm talking. Now what happens the second I plug in the 3.5mm jack from the receiver of the Audio-Technica here, which didn't come into focus, but what are you going to do? I'm going to plug this into the mic. Now it's a little heavy, but the second I plugged it into the receiver, you'll notice it's not picking up any sound anymore. But the second I go and turn on the receiver, you did notice there was a little fluctuation there. That was the sound of the click as I turned on the receiver. Now I'm going to put on the transmitter, and you can see the mic levels have come back up. That's because the mic, which I'm trying to float there, so that is the lapel mic that comes with the mic setup that I have floating around there. And as soon as I turned that on, it started picking up the audio again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click off this mic, and now you see it's not picking up the audio anymore. It really is that simple. It is a plug and play device. You plug in your audio equipment into the camcorder and it will automatically make the change for you. To to the person who I made the video for. I hope that was helpful in some way, shape, or form to anybody else who happens to be watching this video. I hope this answered some of the questions you may have had about using an external mic with your Canon Vixia HF R400. If you have any other questions or comments, please leave them in the area below, and I will do my best to answer them to the best of my ability or make a video such as this if it merits it. Thank you for watching.